What's up, you guys? Welcome back and welcome if you're new. In today's video, I'm going to be installing a Dmm, which is a dash multi-mount onto my 3rd gen Tacoma. I'm just going to show you guys just exactly how to install it. And the cool thing about today's video, the one that I have here today is actually crazy affordable. I know there's other ones on the market right now, but those are a little bit more on the expensive side. And then the cool thing about this one today, it's actually really affordable and it works exactly the same. So let's go ahead and now get into the install. Alright, you guys, so as always, I'm going to go ahead and show you just exactly what you're going to need as far as tools before we get started. So the first thing you're going to want to go ahead and get, and this isn't mandatory, but it will help out on the install, you guys will see why, it's going to be a razor blade of some sort. This is the only one I had here today, and it's super sharp, so this should work for me. The next thing you're going to want to go ahead and get is, of course, a flathead screwdriver. You guys will see why. The next thing you're going to need is going to be a 3/8 socket for your wrench. The next thing you're going to want to go ahead and get is a 5/32 Allen wrench. You're going to need that. You will see why. And then the next thing you're going to also need is going to be a drill bit, a number 10. So you're going to need, of course, a drill for that. So when you guys do buy the package from the Taco Garage, what you're going to get is going to be this main plate. This is going to be the one that's going to be on top, which is going to be exposed. But the cool thing about this, like I said, is one, it's crazy affordable. And then two, when it's actually installed, you won't be able to see it. I'll show you guys, of course, when we install it, but it's going to be flush. The next thing you're going to get inside the box are going to be these silver plates. These are going to be the bottom underneath. These won't be shown. They're going to be actually tucked inside. You will see how. But that's what's going to kind of help out with installing the screws and being able to mount stuff onto it. You guys will see. It's also going to come, of course, with the hardware, and then these two little screws. These two are going to act as just kind of like a placement holder. And then, of course, like I said, the hardware. And then the next thing that you're going to get, which comes provided, but it only comes with one, is going to be this right here. You guys will see what it is. All right, you guys, so the first thing you're going to want to go ahead and do is, of course, come inside the vehicle. And you're going to notice right here, there is a silver trim around your radio. So you're going to need to remove that. That's going to be the first step, and it's actually really easy. So go ahead and grab your hands on the right passenger side, tuck them in the back of it. Go ahead and push back towards you, just like that, and it removes easily. And then you just go like this. So basically on the back side, looking at it, it's just held in with some clips, as you could tell. Mine are red, but they could vary in color, but it's just those clips holding it. Super easy, literally nothing too hard. Let's go ahead and now move on to the next step. So now that you have this removed, up next we're going to need to remove these vents. So it's super easy, don't get intimidated. Let's go ahead and flip it over on the back side. So you're going to want to go ahead and get your flathead screwdriver. This is why. So you're going to notice right here there's a tab. There's going to be a tab right there and a tab right there. So you're going to need to get your flathead in between those tabs to go ahead and remove it. It's super easy, nothing too hard. And then you do it to all three. Alright, so there's one removed. And then let's go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. Now that you have the vents out, this is a perfect timing to just go ahead and open them up and clean them up if they're dusty. If not, don't worry about it. It is 2 pieces. Super easy. Alright, you guys, so of course, now that you have the vents out, up next what we're going to do is go ahead and grab our first piece, which is this one here. We're going to go ahead and grab this piece. So one thing you do want to notice is right here, you have that same creasing right here that you do on this. So the way you install this is just like that. And what you want to do is just kind of put it all the way towards this edge as close as you can, and you want to make sure it's flush all the way down. So just like that. So if you guys do have maybe C-clamps or any type of clamps to go ahead and clamp this down, I would do it right now, because that's going to help you out. So when you drill out these holes, everything's nice and aligned. Unfortunately, I don't have any clamps today, so I'm going to go ahead and try my best for it not to move when I'm making those holes. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of start drilling out the holes, and that's where the size 10 drill bit is going to come in handy. Of course, once you've drilled out all the holes, now you just want to go ahead and remove it just for now. And what we're going to be doing right now is we're just going to clean it all off. So So just go ahead and wipe it down with your hand. If there's some excess on there, that's where you get your razor blade and just kind of cut it off. Top part should be good, but on the bottom side is where you might have some problems. So as you can tell right here, it's a little bit on the thicker side. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. That's where you get your razor blade and just literally slice it off, slice it off. And the reason you want to make sure this is nice and clean is because when you go ahead and put the bottom mounts, which are those silver ones, if this has a lot of excess, it's not going to let it sit flush and the whole mount is not going to be correct. So you want to make sure to just clean that off. Once you do that, up next you're going to notice right here, this hole that we drilled out is slightly close to this tab here. And then looking at this hole here, same thing, it's slightly close to this tab. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this out a little bit, this section here, just so that way when we go ahead and put our nut, because the nuts are going to be going on the bottom of course, that way we can go ahead and tighten it down with our wrench. If not, that little tab right here is going to be in the way. So let me go ahead and chop that up right now and I'll get back to you guys. Of course, once we're in this step here, let's go ahead and now grab our bracket once more, the one that's going to be the top plate. So just remember, go ahead and put it in its position. Just like that. And here what we're going to do is of course have that top plate there. The first thing we're going to grab now is going to be this silver plate, and it's going to be the same thing. You're going to want to go ahead and follow the groove just like the top plate. So it's going to be like this of course. So this one is going to be on the back side, just like that. One thing to note before putting it in the back side, you're going to notice in the center it has a grooved out section, which is in the center right here. That's going to be for your holding screw, which you guys will see what I mean by that. But each of these tabs are going to have a little holding screw, so they're going to be threaded out. So let's go ahead and grab that first one. Like I said, let's go ahead and center it where it's supposed to go. So the centering screws are going to be these two silver ones that come provided. It's going to be two of them. That one you just want to go ahead and thread it in. Like I said, the silver plate comes threaded already, so this should be easy. And now if you're having trouble threading it in, you can go ahead and grab your 5/32 Allen wrench and go ahead and tighten it down like that. Basically with those little screws that you're just putting in right now, they're just kind of alignment screws. So just so that way it holds everything in place, as you can tell. Now that you have everything drilled out, you have your alignment screw in place. The bottom plate is in place as well. Now you want to go ahead and get your black little screws and just literally slide them in. So if you did the hole correctly, it should literally just slide in just like that. And then go ahead and grab the other side. Slide it right in just like that. It's going to look nice and flush. Go ahead and flip this for you guys. So go ahead and get a lock washer. Get another lock washer for the other side. Go ahead and grab the nut. And then if you want, go ahead and just hand tighten for now. One side. And then go ahead and grab another nut. And same thing, hand tighten for now. Once you have it hand tight, now you go ahead and get your 3/8 socket and wrench. And now you can go ahead and tighten this bad boy down all the way. And one thing to note, the way you know this is put in all the way, it's going to be nice and flush. As you can tell, this one I don't have it installed all the way just yet, so it's poking out slightly. This one it's tightened all the way, so it's nice and flush. You should be able to rub your finger around it and not feel it. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down, and then we'll go ahead and continue. Of course, once you've tightened it down, you've felt it, it's nice and flush, and now you can go ahead and get your centering screw back out. So go ahead and get your Allen wrench that you used, of course, to tighten it down. The cool thing about having that there, now you can mount either your phone or anything, whatever you want to mount. That's going to be one of your mounting points. Now we're going to kind of repeat the process to the next ones. Super easy. So let's go ahead and grab the next mounting plate. So as you can tell, this one's going to be for here. It matches up here. So let's go ahead and now put it in its position right at the bottom. And one thing to take note, you guys, as you can tell, the nipples are going to be facing inward, like say towards the radio. And the top piece is going to be the flat. That's how it's going to sit. But I did want to point out, on this exact plate, it's going to have two threaded ones. So you guys will see why. Let's go ahead and slide it right in just like that. So those two threaded ones, you're going to go ahead and use your two silver screws to go ahead and mount it in place for now. So these just kind of help you to hold it, so that way you can get the actual screws in. So now that you have your securing screws in place, as you can tell, they're coming out, they're threaded, so the back plate is going to be nice and held on. Now you want to go ahead and get two of your little black screws that are going to be the actual screws that stay in place. So just like that, 1 and 2. So I got the two screws held in place. I'm gonna hold them with my hand so I can flip it over for you guys. And we're just gonna repeat the process. And I did want to take note on this, you guys. So if you remember, I told you to cut out part of this slit on the insert. Reason why, because then you won't be able to get your wrench in place to tighten it down. So now it's going to be ease of install since I did do it. So now that we have this one installed, so now we're going to go ahead, same thing, just remove the 2 screws. And for this plate, we're going to have 2 mounting points. Nice and clean. So let's go ahead and just repeat the process to these last 2. So for this one, what you're going to notice is, of course, since we didn't cut these tabs out, that one you're going to want to go ahead and slide it in within here and within here. Slide it right in. For this last one, same thing. Let's go ahead and make sure this groove is in the same position. Slide it right in, and then flip it right over. We're going to take out these 2 screws here, so I'm going to need one of them to mount that next plate. Once you're done, you guys should have now 6 different mounting locations. Should be flush. As you can tell, this is all nice and done. And left over, you should have, of course, those 2 holding screws, the silver ones. You should have one of these left, 1 lock washer, and 1 nut. They provide extras just in case. So, of course, up next, and now let's go ahead and reinsert our vents. Alright, so once you're done, this is what you should be looking at. As you can tell, you can't even see the top mounting plate. I'll show you guys again once it's installed. But everything looks clean. Everything's put back together. This vent grips, I'm not going to need it anymore, so I can finally use my AC. So I'm going to put that off to the side. Alright, you guys, so of course, now that it's nice and installed, right now you could actually reinstall it onto your truck if you wanted to. But as far as for me, like I said, the cool thing about the Taco Garage, they actually have an access point so you can run wires through. So as you can tell, it's right here and right here. The only thing you're going to need to do that's a bit custom is go ahead and get yourself a Dremel or just some type of cutting tool, and you're going to want to go ahead and cut out the plastic. So that's what I'm going to do up next. This might not come out clean because I don't have the correct Dremel for this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So let's get started. Now that I have the cutouts right here, now I can actually pass wire through. So of course, if you're not going to run any wire through, 1, you don't have to cut it, and then 2, you don't have to worry about this next step I'm about to do. As far as for me, I do want some wires running out of here, which is at least for my phone charger. So that's the wire I'm going to pass through. But as you can tell, it looks nice and clean now. It looks super flush. If you guys weren't going to pass wires through though, all you literally would need to do now is just kind of put it back, snap it into place, and then of course up next, go ahead and grab your ball mount. Look here at the top, and like I was saying, you have 6 mounting screws. So all you would have to do now is just literally put the screw there, because inside there is a screw inside the ball mount, and tighten it down. And then you'd get your 5/32 Allen wrench and tighten it all the way down, and basically you'd be done. All you would have to do now is purchase the rest of the mounts to go ahead and say mount your phone, your GoPro, or anything like that. Of course, as far as for me, I'm not done with this installation because I am going to pass wires through. So if you guys are interested on that, please make sure to keep staying tuned to this video. So I'm going to take this back out for now. I'm going to remove this one more time. I'm going to remove it, and like I said, if you're interested in passing wires, this part is going to be for you. So right here, what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to pull back the stereo just for a moment so I can pass my iPhone cable through. So right here, you want to go ahead and get yourself a 10mm socket, an extended one, and around the radio there's going to be 1, 2, and on this opposite side there's going to be another 1 and 2 bolts that you need to remove. And I'm not taking it out all the way, so if you do have someone to hold it for you, that'd be great. If not, you can get a blanket and have it set on the shifter. You want to go ahead and get yourself a clothes hanger, and you're not going to be able to see this on camera, but in person you will. you want to go ahead and pass this right through. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it. It's gonna have to feed back out here. So I'm gonna run my wire through here, and then I'm gonna have the cable so that way I can connect it right here when I want to charge. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'll get back to you guys. We have the clothes hanger fed. As you can tell, it's right here. Now it's right there at the bottom. So up next on the next step is, like I said, I purchased this brand new just so I know I have a brand new wire going through and it works good. I'm gonna go ahead and now tape the wire end to the clothes hanger just like that. I'm just gonna be using some black electrical tape to go ahead and help me run it through. I'm gonna do that now. All right, now that I have it taped up, I'm gonna go ahead and continue to run it all the way through. And now that you've ran the wire through, it's all the way at the bottom, kind of where you're gonna connect it. As you can tell, I have this left over here. You wanna make sure to leave some slack. Exactly the way you took it off, just go ahead and put it back. Alright, so of course, now that you have your wire passed, if you're gonna run 2, go ahead and of course run 2. I'm just running 1. And now, wherever you're gonna want your phone, that's probably where you should be mounting this. So let me go ahead and kind of insert. So like I was saying, I want my phone closest to me, so I'm gonna be putting it through this hole, not this one. So I'm gonna put it kind of just there. And then same way you took this plastic thing off, now you just go ahead and snap it back into place. You have your wiring. So of course, now that I'm gonna have this badass mount, I'm not gonna need this anymore. So let me just go ahead and throw this away, of course. All right, so up next, what you wanna go ahead and do is, like I had said in the previous scene, if you're gonna be installing phones or whatever you're installing, you are gonna need these ball mounts, which Taco Garage does sell them. If they're sold out, I also found them in round mounts. But basically what you want to do is grab this bad boy here, and as far as the holes, like I was telling you guys, there's 6 insertions where you can go ahead and insert the hole. There is a screw in there. Go ahead and just hand tighten it for now. Super easy, literally nothing too hard. Just kind of start it. Go ahead and grab your 5/32 Allen wrench, and then now you want to go ahead and tighten it down all the way. Once you have it nice and snug, up next what you want to go ahead and do is now you want to go ahead and get your clamps and just kind of whatever you're going to be installing. You need to purchase those brackets for it. As far as for me, I bought a RAM mount because I want it for my phone and I want it nice and secure. I also bought a GoPro mount since I do film inside my vehicle. I wanted that so I can still use my GoPro. And then I also bought one for my midland, so that way I could go ahead and mount this right up here and it looks nice and clean. So first things first, of course, like I said, right here, I'm gonna mount my phone. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my RAM mount that I purchased. This one was from a different website, from RAM Mount. So noticing here, so any mount that you do get, you're gonna notice it's not gonna attach because on both ends you're gonna have balls. To go ahead and actually attach these, you're gonna notice you're gonna need to get one of these brackets. So basically what this does, you open it up, slide it right over the ball, and then the other ball, same thing, you slide it right over. So right here, you don't want to tighten down all the way just yet. What you want to do is grab your phone, something like that, then you just tighten down by hand, of course. And this thing ain't going nowhere. And I am gonna do a lot of off-road tests because if you guys know and you guys watch my Instagram, I like going off-road a lot. So as you can tell, the wire's there, and now I can go ahead and fully charge my phone if I wanted to. This thing is freaking dope. All right, so up next, I'm gonna now go ahead and install my GoPro mount and then my Midland mic mount. All right, you guys, so for this next one here, it's gonna be the mic for my Midland. So it's gonna sit just like that. It's gonna look nice and clean. So where I ended up getting this was Expedition Essentials. I couldn't find this anywhere else in stock, so I ended up going through them. So check it out. I believe also Running for Tacos had the same one in their website if you want to check that out. But as you can tell, for this one's going to be for a different type of mount, so I can't utilize this one. It won't sit right. I'm going to remove that bottom ball mount. I ended up purchasing another one from the Taco Garage, and that ball is going to sit there. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my Midland just so I can see kind of where it's going to be sitting. So I just want to show you my point of view. So of course, if you guys have an iPad or just anything else, of course you can mount it there. As far as for me, this is what I'm going to be mounting. GoPro's not going to sit there all the time, of course. That's only when I'm recording. Mainly it's just going to be my phone and the Midland. So I like it, and like I said, if you had that other one, it sits a little higher, so it obstructs the view even more. This one sits a little lower since it is flush, so it kind of still gives you that view. And like I said, you could always maneuver this around however you want. If one day you just want to go ahead and move it, all you have to do is unscrew these things and then they come off that easy. So if you want it for a flush kind of stock look one day, you can do that. But heck yeah, I'm super excited with this, and I'm Actually really happy with the price. So if you guys want it, it's gonna be in the description box below. So now that we're done, as you can tell, it looks freaking awesome. And the cool thing about this, it's super universal. You can do whatever you want up here. This is what I needed for my specific installation. And then you can add your chargers if you wanted to. So yeah, so if you guys did enjoy today's video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget, check out the description box below to go ahead and get yours. See you guys on the next one. Peace.
Jesse Rizo is here for you. Is here for you. Now. Like I said, it's super simple. Please feel free to subscribe.